Chrissy Steltz was left with no eyes, no nose, and virtually no face. A firearm accident changed her life forever, leaving her to live in darkness for more than a decade.
I don't know if you've ever seen like a wounded animal trying to get up. That's what I saw. I saw an injury that nobody survives, except somebody really strong, and she was trying to get up.
Chrissy was only 16 years old and was living with her boyfriend and a group of friends. They stole guns from a shop in town, and that, along with the consumption of alcohol, became the worst possible combination.
My words were, "Put that down before you kill somebody," and he told me it's not loaded.
The shot had been unintentional, but it meant the almost complete destruction of her face.
That she wasn't ever going to see again, or smell. And it hurt she didn't have a nose, and she didn't have eyes. That they were gone.
The accident shocked Chrissy completely. She would never be the same again.
I had gorgeous blue eyes. I had darker blonde hair, had a nice tan. I've always had nice shaped eyebrows. I was very beautiful, naturally beautiful.
It wasn't a simple injury or a regular accident. Her case shocked the doctors, and they couldn't believe what they were seeing. Given the impact of the gunshot, it's a miracle she survived.
The blast itself removed the contents of her left eye socket, removed her nose and the supporting midfacial structures, and damaged her right eye to the extent that she lost vision.
Have you ever seen anything like Chrissy Steltz's case?
I've not seen anything quite so severe where the patient lived.
Chrissy had no idea what had happened. She'd been in a coma and hospitalized for over a month. She didn't know that she'd lost 2/3 of her face, an odyssey which she could only put an end to 11 years later. However, that didn't change or take away her will to live.
You suffered a gunshot wound to the face at 16 and you graduated on time, straight A's.
Yes.
You realize this is completely unheard of.
You know, it's part of who I am.
The young woman decided to go on with her life as normal, and the fact that she couldn't see and that she went about her day-to-day life wearing a mask became commonplace. She met her partner in classes for blind people, and she even became a mother, all while living like this.
Almost as though you don't even know you're blind.
Yeah.
However, of course, even though she was able to lead a normal life, she did want to try to get back something of her face, even if just a little bit. The process wasn't easy at all, and Chrissy had to undergo a series of surgeries. The prosthetic had to be very big since it was almost all of her face. But not only did she have to deal with the medical side, but also with the health insurance company who didn't want to cover the procedure because it was considered a cosmetic procedure.
They don't want to pay for prosthetics to them. As long as you can still walk and breathe, you're fine.
This is certainly not a veneer on a front tooth. It's just as much of a medical necessity to me as an artificial arm or a leg.
However, for the doctors behind Chrissy's evolution, that was no problem. They were willing to work for free to help this young woman who had been living like this for more than 10 years. The professionals understood the meaning of the Hippocratic Oath, so they'd go to great lengths to give their patient her face back.
This favorite makeup of hers, and what we'll do is we'll put that on and seal it onto the prosthesis so she doesn't have to keep reapplying it.
Beyond just making a prosthetic, the doctors wanted it to look as real as possible.
Getting the gaze, so when you look, both eyes are looking the same way and that little glint is in the same position.
They were absolutely ready to see what Chrissy's prosthetic looked like after months of intense preparation. The idea was to make it look as close as possible to the young woman's face, and neither the patient nor the whole family could have been happier with the result when they saw her for the first time.
Oh, Miss America. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. Hi, Shy. And look, without the glasses.
Oh my goodness, that's great. Oh my God.
Thank you.
It was an amazing change. For over 10 years, Chrissy had lived with a black mask on her face to be treated like everyone else. But now, her son could grow up to see her with a face, and she could walk down the street without feeling that everyone was looking at her.
Chrissy, what is it that you want most now of everything?
To be looked at as a plain Jane, like everyone else. to be treated just like everyone else.
Chrissy lived through a tragedy that changed her life completely. However, in her head, she doesn't see herself as having had a different development. She took everything that had happened to her, internalized it, and just lived.
No one can imagine what you've lost, and yet you have gained something that is immeasurable.
The love of my life. I love you, baby. And the baby love of my life.
Knowing what you have now, if you could do it all over again, would you change anything?
You know, I wouldn't think so. I mean, I feel blessed, and if I were to change any one thing, I'd be afraid it would change everything. I have lived an exciting life. For being blind, I've done a lot of really exciting things. You know, I have made the most of what could have been a very bad situation. I took a tragic beginning almost and turned it into what I could call my fairy tale ending.